Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and this is a weather and lifestyle news show, the truth in news. And we do a lot of news that during this hour, this 30-minute show, that we show you recalls and animals and a lot of fun stuff, fun posts. Yeah, I look forward to the end of the show to where I read some of these funny things because we need a lot of laughter in our lives. And Karen, what do you think? We need laughter. We're going into the 4th of July, and today is trivia night. So join us in the next hour for 4th of July trivia. Now, I hope I stumped y'all. I'm I, I'm not trying to work with William, but you ladies keep burying him. So I tried to. Uh, no, I'm not stacking the deck for William. No, no, no. I'm just making it fair for all. Let's see what happens. So join us the next hour for trivia if that's what you're looking for. Um, and Mary, glad to see you back. You know who I called today was Sherry. We haven't seen Sherry in a while, and so I gave her a call and let's see what happens. I called. I didn't call Linda. I left her a message. But when I see um, different people disappear, I tend to try to message them and ask them, come on back. We may not have said something you like, but we're the truth in news. All right, weather. Oh my God, it's hot. 130 here, heat index. I don't even look out the window. I'm afraid if I look out the window, I'm going to feel 100 degrees. I shut my blinds, I close my curtains, and I'm just sitting in the cool. It's Friday, uh, 4th of July weekend. Are they going to make it a 2-day weekend, 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend? What do you think, Karen? I think they're going to make it a 4-day weekend because 4th of July is until Tuesday. And, Monday, they're all going to be back at work and they're not going to want to be there. And then 4th of July party fest. Are they going to want to go to work on Wednesday? No, I don't think so. This is weird. 4th of July in the middle of the week. They need to just specify that we have it on a Friday or Saturday night. I mean, if they're going to change everything in the world, why not just change 4th of July? And why ban Mount Rushmore? The second year Joe Biden has, and I don't like doing politics on the weather show, but why ban a 4th of July anywhere? Let us all enjoy it. Let us shoot the fireworks. Let us have the barbecue. Let us eat lots of hot dogs. Let us get all a bellyache, do Alka Seltzer, and wake up in the morning and not want to go to work. Yeah, let's just enjoy ourselves. Boy, oh, what is it about 4th of July? Well, today in history, Route 66 was formed. And anybody drove Route 66? And what's the purpose of Route 66? It's to show us that we took out highways um, and cut off cities and towns that should have been left. Oh, they did it here. They cut out um, um, pretty much dreamland. They cut out a lot of different historical um, highways and roads, not only here in Arkansas, but even when you see Route 66. Is it worth driving at this point? you know, Mary, you might want to listen to the first part of my trivia show. I I had what do they call that? An epiphany? Is that what it's called when you get an idea and you just type and put down what you're thinking? I don't know if it's heaven sent or if it's just me coming up with ideas. But Mary, come on back for the next show. All right, so weather, hot, 130 degrees heat index here right now. Uh, my ceiling fan's going. I don't dare put it up on medium because then you guys hear the woof, woof, woof. Um, the ceiling fan. And Karen's like, "What's that noise? Uh, why do you have that noise?" And I'm like, "Well, Karen, it's my ceiling fan." Yeah, as though she throws popcorn at me. She's gonna throw popcorn at me during trivia. I swear it. All right, so oh boy, oh looky there. Why is it so hot? And then I said, wait a minute now. We've had quite a few 4th of July's over 100 degrees where I really couldn't do 4th of July. And we would have a week or two of over 100. And then in August, we get the same thing. Is this normal or are they just trying to scare us? You got to look at it.
Well, west is best this holiday weekend, and that's where we're really not looking at much weather action happening. Sunshine, it will be dry, temperatures will be comfortable for most of the west. Desert Southwest, you're the exception where the heat is building. Now, here's a look with the rain that is going to be around this weekend and into the 4th of July. So it's concentrated from the Rockies into the Northeast. Now on Tuesday, take a look at that heat, and there's the Southwest, Phoenix, 113 for your heat indices. It is going to be very hot from the Southwest all across the South into the Southeast through the weekend. So that is something to keep in mind. That's really where all that heat has been this week. It continues even into next week. There's a look at the precip timing for the 4th of July, and we'll have some scattered showers over the Rockies into the upper Midwest, along the South and parts of the Northeast.
Where's Death Valley in this? I want to know what Death Valley is because they should be like scorching 150 degrees. No Death Valley. Why? We see Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is really hot. It's hot here. Um, and they're saying El Nino, La Nina, all this weather coming up, climate change, and how about just regular weather? It's hot. Um, if you can't deal with the heat, stay inside. Draw, close everything off. Now, I can't deal with heat, folks. This is, oh boy, one of my big pet peeves is I can't deal with the heat. I close everything down. I even put aluminum foil on my windows. And everybody says, does it really help? Yes, it does. It blocks the heat. And you have a cool house. In a week, it's all going to be gone and we can all go back out to do what we need to do. The problem is we got 4th of July in the middle of it. Was this pre-planned? Was this so Mount Rushmore couldn't celebrate? Mount Rushmore, go ahead and celebrate. Everybody celebrate. 4th of July. This is hot dogs, hamburgers, and trivia tonight with 4th of July. All right, I don't want to dwell too much on this weather. We have there's no escaping this heat. There's just no July, August. It's summertime, folks. There's no escaping the heat, and even when we look at the Weather Channel, you know what? There's no escaping the heat. Um, Let me see.
Okay, so the July outlook is in for temperatures. All right, we're going to take a look at what the temperatures will generally look like across the country for the month. And this is going to be kind of one of the hallmark patterns that we'll see. You guys know what we've been dealing with for the last couple of weeks with the high pressure that's been over the southern plains and it's kind of migrating toward the southeast. We've had some pretty extreme heat. And in general, the high pressure is going to be in the southwest for a good chunk of July. Low pressure up in the northeast, that will lead to some below average temperatures up in the mid-Atlantic. Parts of the Carolinas also have some below average temperatures in the middle part of the country, and then pretty well above average underneath that high pressure where it compresses the air and kind of warms it up. By the way, the most below average temperatures that we'll see across the country during the month of July, and remember, is the entire month averaged out. That'll be in the west, especially southwestern California.
You know, I have to say that now living in California, we normally got out the first, second week of June. And I remember friends daring me to. Now we used to. There's gutters out there. If you don't know what a gutter is, it's um, um, where everybody's grass runs off and it goes into the drains, and they're called gutters. Now my son freaked out because he was like, "Mom, what are these? What are what?" And he pointed, and I said, "Those are sidewalks." He said, "Really?" Because he was raised in Arkansas, so we don't have sidewalks here. And he said, "Then what are those?" I said, "Those are gutters." Well, what are gutters for? For the water, for the runoff of the yard. So there's waste. Yeah. Okay. So let's get to um, my elementary grade to junior high. When we stick our feet in the water on the hottest days, over 100, and this was June, July, and then we would step into the street, and whoever could stay the longest won. What did we win? Nothing. Just that we could stay the longest in the hot street. Yeah, boy, I tell you what, I got some tough feet. I must have calluses like 5 inches thick because I was going to win. I was going to be the hot feet in the street winner for the summer. No, if it was June, July, August, I was going to whoop them out. And see, that's what we did back then. We played baseball. We played kickball. We played during the summer. We didn't stay in the house. It was too hot. Do you notice that now in the South? This is something I learned in the South, that they don't stay in the house. It's too hot. They all sit out on the porches, and they do put ceiling fans on the porches. Why? To get the cool. It's cooler outside than it is inside. So, um, we're this is summertime, folks. Time to go out, get your tan, shave your legs, have fun surfing, boarding. Um, go out and enjoy the beaches. And if you got to pick up a little bit of garbage, pick it up. Go out and enjoy the summer. There's so much you can do in summer. Camping. Um, don't let the politics and the weather scare you off from doing what you normally do in the summertime. So what are you going to do for 4th of July? Don't sit at home. Karen, don't sit at home. Go to the Museum of Discovery. Go to the zoo. If you can do a little bit of the heat, go to the zoo. Don't sit at home. Enjoy 4th of July. It is day when we claimed our independence. So go out and be independent. Oh boy! Now we the Karen, where was that earthquake you were telling me about? Because I was looking for it and then I couldn't remember where I had seen this earthquake. And now the recent one is um, Alamore, California, and it was only a 3. Now we could see there's clusters everywhere. South America being quiet. Um, Colombia with a 4.7, and then the next biggest would be a 5.8. Now I seen 5.9, and bam, oh boy, Ban Bang, Glipuro, Indonesia. That was a 5.8. We see a cluster right around the volcanoes in the Aleutian Islands. So, lo and behold, they say, south of Alaska, we had an earthquake. What about the Aleutian Islands? Why not admit that real close to the volcanoes is um, active earthquakes? King Cove, a 3.2. South Alaska, 3.1. Then I want to go over to um, Petrola, California. That is very, very, it's always active. And everybody says, why is it so active up there? And you go right around Petrola, Eureka, Ferndale, Crescent City. And it's almost like a little triangle, they say. No, it's what it is there is a fault line that runs out of Eureka, out in the ocean about 40, 50 miles, and it goes straight across, and then it goes up. And I believe that is what is being, what affects and the start of the northern part of the fault line for San Andreas. Because then you go down a little ways and you see one in California in Tehachapi, 3.4. And then we see one in Mexico. And they're just saying the delta of Mexico. Really? Why doesn't the USGS want to tell us about the volcanoes? It used to be just the earthquakes. Now I can go with them not wanting to elaborate on the earthquakes, but now it's the volcanoes. Why aren't they telling us about the volcanoes? And then we have a pile up on the islands of Puerto Rico or San Juan. And you got to wonder why the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, um, uh, that are being plagued with so many. Um, is there an active volcano? Why is it rumbling so bad? Well, then when we look at, um, we had an earthquake of 4.6 on the Atlantic Ridge. And when we look at it where it comes down, it goes up and around. Now, if we do the Ring of Fire, we're going from Indonesia, let's say Papua New Guinea, or Fiji, and it goes up around into Japan. And of course, we had Japan with a 4.3. And then we go up to Alaska with the Aleutian Islands. And boy, folks, we just got hit. And if you live in uh, Ocotillo, California, 2.5, you just got hit. But it goes up and around, and then it goes to South America. And then you say, well, wait a minute, what about those over in Italy? Is there anything going on in Italy or the UK? Croatia, 4.3. Tajikistan, that we're seeing a lot of, it's a 4.1. Are they playing? Now, we know with weather modification, folks, that they do use HARP to use low grade earthquakes. They can stir the weather, they can seed the clouds, they can cause tornadoes or hurricanes, they can even stir a hurricane to where they want it. Is this a weather war? It could be. It could be. And I don't know. YouTube and Facebook might hit me up with this because I just want to say I believe we're going through not only technical war with AI, we're going through ground war, we're going through air war. And I don't like to get real political on this show, but we have to realize that what are we looking at when we're seeing earthquakes and volcanoes? When we have the United States government has been drilling into volcanoes since 2003. Why? Well, I mean, if you're going to drill into a volcano, you got to expect it to erupt. It was for resources. Diamonds is a big one. Um, anything, any hot um, cooling gem or gases or gas. Uh, crude oil could be pulled from volcanoes. And I don't want to spend too much time on it. So, anyway, um, on this day, I mentioned Route 66, June uh, of this week in 1985, iconic Route 66 reaches the end of the road. So they had tracked it from the beginning to the end. And some people do take the track. Good for them. But you know what? There's so many cities, so many um, little itty bitty towns that need to be recognized along the Route 66 that got cut off. Um, um, they have a thing that's called Draco. It's trees that fell on homes and cars and hundreds of thousands of people that were left without electricity. Uh, and they called it Draco. Is this well, I'm just going to have to let you guys take a look at
A derecho left a trail of damage as it raced across the Midwest Thursday. Trees fell on homes and cars. People in neighborhoods like this one, just south of Springfield, Illinois, have a lot of cleanup ahead. Further to the east towards Indiana, an eerie shelf cloud in the sky as storms moved in, bringing rain along with those high winds, which gusted up to 90 miles per hour in some areas. Farmers took a hit too. These cornfields in rural Fairfax, Missouri were flattened. And if we look at this radar recap, we can really see this derecho's 400-mile plus path and the severe weather that left hundreds of thousands of people without electricity.
You know, the thing that gets me is why did they start naming the storms? The littlest snowflake has a name now. Maybe it's easier for the Weather Channel or for these weather systems to identify to where they could call them a name instead of invest. Because a lot of it is invest or tropical storm and they have numbers behind them. Why not leave it at that? Why start naming these storms? Because it confuses everybody. It really does. And I thought it was just um, people like me that are old that just can't keep track. But they're even confusing the young people in college. Bees, oh boy, folks, 'tis the season for bees. Um, we have African bees that we know that have been coming up through um, South America to uh, Mexico into the United States. Now, um, an elderly man in Arizona dies after numerous bee stings and cardiac arrest. Don't mess with these hives, folks. If you see a little itty bitty hive, little tiny, about the size of 50-cent piece, you start getting rid of it. Because if you just say, okay, well, I don't want to kill the bees, they're honeybees or they're yellow jackets, they're wasps, I don't really want to mess with them. But if you wait, that's when you start having issues like this elderly Arizona man that died of close to 50 bee stings and it killed him. You just don't know. Are you allergic to a wasp? Are you allergic to these African bees? We have to start thinking about this as we have now seen with the hurricanes, and not only that, but migrants that are coming into our country and what they're bringing. They don't mean to bring in pests or bugs or bed bugs. Super lice. Who heard of super lice before? This is lice that you can't even kill. Where did that come from? You when you get kids in school, this is when you see lice, and you get kids in preschool, then kindergarten, first grade, and all of a sudden you got super lice, and you're going super lice. Well, what do you do to kill it? There's nothing. Okay. We got super mosquitoes with malaria. Where'd those come from? Is this because they're coming from other countries blown in by hurricanes? Or is this a lab experiment gone wrong? I'm the conspiracy theorist. Let me go with that one. Uh, the death of former NFL quarterback Ryan Mallett. Boy, what happened there? Um, when I looked into this, it just it why does crime and why does death have to be so much in this country? Rip current. Karen, do you remember when we were out there in Myrtle Beach and it had rip current and it said don't go in the water such and such time? I stayed out of the water. Why do people go into rip current water? That's 50-50, or I'm going to say 80-20 chance that something can happen to you. Don't go on rip current. Now we have a NFL a player that went into rip current waters, and yeah, he's a badass. Yeah, okay, cool. But your rip current is badass too. That's all I got to say. And I don't mean to curse, folks, but what else do you say? Um, it asteroid the size of Washington Monument up as it passed the Earth. Why is NASA warning us now about little itty bitty asteroids? I mean, we can't even see them on their telescopes. And the only thing I could think of is, when I read this, I was like, you know what? It's time for you to go get your kids. Karen, I know you got a little baby, but she gets 4 or 5 years old or in kindergarten or preschool, even as young as preschool. Go get a telescope and start teaching them, because if we don't teach of what's going on with the planets, they'll never understand of why we're looking not only at space, but we're looking now in the deep waters. We got to start educating our kids. It's all about social racism in the schools. How about we start teaching our own kids about what Fourth of July is about? What about what the true meaning of Thanksgiving, the true meaning of our holidays? And not only that, what our forefathers were about. It's time to bring history into our homes. If they're not going to teach it in the schools, let's teach it in the homes. All right. Titanic actor. Um, he's dead at 94. Now, Lee Palter. Now, I don't really, I kind of sort of recognize him. Um, he has been in many movies. Um, um, let's see if he was in the Flying Nun. I don't recognize him. Let me put his picture up. Um, some might. I just don't recognize him. I know my mom was a big Flying Nun, Sally Fields, I believe. But yeah, he passed away. At least it's not those that are dying when they are in their 20s, uh, or a football player in his prime that's passing away at 30 years old, or a junior high or high school student. Uh, Something's happening. Is it the earth, the air, or is it the water? Um, be so very, very careful right now, folks. Um, but there is so much hacking and malicious malware out there. Not out for your phones. They're all attacking phones because they found out, oh, it's so easy to order things from your phone. You don't got to go to the computer. You don't got to go to your laptop. How about DoorDash? How about delivery service from different pizza places? But and what do you do? How do you pay for it? With your bank card, your bank numbers. And more, we are now finding out that malicious malware is out there to steal your money. Be very, very careful, folks. You're having to look at. It's so easy to be tempted to, let's just order food. It's too hot. It's too hot to go anywhere. But do you know if you're being hacked that time that you're ordering from these delivery services? Be very, very careful. Call and find out what their security is when you order and you put your bank money out there and you put your card numbers out there. Because if you don't check into it, they're not going to tell you. So be careful, folks. Yeah. All right. So we ready for some funny posts. I'm ready for it. This is here. Did you hear about? Hey, did you hear about the paper company that folded? About the brake company on the skids? How about the bra manufacturer that went bust? I know you guys got to give a few, and then you'll giggle about this. The cigarette company that went up in smoke. The baker who was short of dough. Refrigerator manufacturer that had assets frozen. Upholsterers that couldn't cover the cost. Adhesive tape company that got into a sticky situation and couldn't pay their bills. Downfall of the bungee suppliers. The train company that went off the rails. The dental practice that was rotten in the roots. All right, I'm ready for some funny newspaper stuff. Lost. Small apricot poodle reward neutered like one of the family. A suburb and inexpensive restaurant fine food expertly served by waitress in apparent appetizing forms. Dinner special, turkey, chicken, or beef, and children are under $2. For sale, an antique desk suitable for a lady with thick legs and large drawers. Four-poster bed, 101 years old, perfect for an antique lover. Wanted, 50 girls for stripping machine operators in a factory. For sale, three canaries of undetermined sex. Great dames for sale, not dames, dames. Have several very old dresses from grandmother in beautiful condition. 20 dozen bottles of excellent old tawny port sold to pay for charges The owner is having a lost site and bottled by last year. Get rid of ants. Zap does the job in 24 hours. Sheer stockings designated for fancy dresses, but also serviceable, that lots of women wear nothing else. Our bikinis are exciting. They are simply the tops. Semi-annual Christmas sale. Yeah, that's what happens in July. Christmas in July. Yep. Um, we will um, we will oil your sewing machine and adjust your tension in your home for $1. Yeah, we need someone to adjust my tension. All right, that's it for the Friday show, folks, and we'll be back on Monday. But come on back in about 30 minutes for trivia. Uh, 4th of July trivia. Got some great news. And there's someone out there that needs to hear that, you know, we have problems with family members right now. And we love them, but you know what? Sometimes you just can't deal with family members. So come on back, play some trivia, have some fun. Karen and Susan, William's all set for this. He's all set. He has got hog ties. He's got duct tape. He's got zip ties. No, I'm teasing, but he's going to win today. All right, folks, we will see you in 30 minutes. And if not, then we will see you on Monday for Justice for All. I got some great stuff for that show. And, uh, and of course, William. And then we'll start into a new week. I've agreed that I'm going to super glue my butt to this chair for about a month. Yeah, I can't go nowhere for a month. All right, folks. Uh, Subscribe, hit the like button, that thumbs up, hit the love into hearts. Yeah, I want to see some hearts. Hit that bell because YouTube, once we were banned, they took you all out. And it's going to be hard for you to find me again. Once you find me, uh, ring my bell. So with that, we will see you all in 30 minutes. Or if not, see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Uh, Celebrate the 4th of July this weekend and going into Monday and Tuesday. So we will see you soon. Uh, Thanks for watching.